zucchini.
What's that?
Zucchini.
Never
heard of that. All right.
Yeah, it's a mint dip, isn't it? Like a mint yogurt dip.
A courgette.
Courgette. I see. I don't know that. I don't know that.
Welcome back to Second Perspective podcast episode. Oh, what episode is it? It's 8, isn't it? We're getting deep. You're here with me, Rich, Pete, obviously in the States, and we have got a guest, a surprise guest, in the name of Charlie. He's been on before. He was on episode 2 or 3. Was it 2 or 3? 2. So yeah, we've got Charlie here. We were supposed to be having Andrew, Pete's friend, who was here when Charlie was on the last time, but he sadly couldn't make it. So we've just, unfortunately, we're just stuck with Charlie this time. I'm sure we'll cope. Pete, how you doing?
I'm good, boys. Really just been working a lot, so which is good. They just announced that we're going to be playing baseball in the end of July. So I'm going to have a job. Thank God.
Nice. I seen your tweet actually. It was sort of up in the air for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was the only league that hadn't agreed on a plan yet. So they finally did. I'm very grateful for it. I got kind of lucky. So now I can there's more clarity, I guess, in my life. I'm going to be looking to move to Atlanta and stuff like that. So, and by the way, Andrew didn't text me back about this podcast, so we're mad at him right now.
Yeah, we're really mad. We're not going to talk to him.
Fuming.
When this podcast blows up and he wants to come on as a guest, we just won't message him back. Anyway, Charlie, what's going on?
Yeah, not too bad. Surviving, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all just about surviving at this stage. So what we brought Charlie on to the podcast this week for is just to talk about a few things in life. The first one being music. And that's why we wanted Andrew on as well, because, correct me if I'm wrong, Pete, he released his first own thing the other week, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did. He dropped a song that he made, and it was good. I really enjoyed it.
I liked it too.
I was just happy he kind of went out there and did it, you know. I told him, because I've heard he's been making a lot of stuff for a while now. He loves music. It's his passion. But it's not like something he's going to go into, I think, like career-wise in the immediate future. At least that's not what his plan was. But I really enjoyed his music, and I kind of pushed him to do it. I was like, dude, you should just do it. You love it. Why not? So he finished that song, and we made the cover art for it, and it got really good feedback. So
it done really well. I enjoyed it though. It was good. Who did he collaborate with?
Who did he collaborate with? No one.
Yeah,
just him.
Who was that? Him singing?
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah.
I thought there was another name on the.
No, so the name is what he goes by, Sonny Jim.
That's
his stage name.
I feel really bad now. In fact, I don't, because he didn't message us back. So, I thought it was someone else singing. He's got a good voice, hasn't he?
Yeah, he mixed it really well. I heard the version before. He really cleaned it up, and the version before, I was like, damn, this is good. And then he really cleaned it up, and I was like, dude, this is you got something good here. There's another song that he released last year with our friend Dylan, who lived across the street from us. And it was really good too. That was a lot of people liked that song. I'll send it over to you guys after the podcast, but it was really good. It's called Ogara. But
yeah, I'll check that out. Honestly, I feel sort of embarrassed now, but it was one of those things. I think, was I with you, Charlie, when he dropped that? No, I might have been with Char, but we were out walking, and it just came up on. Oh, I was with you, was I?
Yeah, it was after playing basketball.
That was it, yeah. And so we were sort of on the move, and it came up in my Instagram feed, and I sort of clicked on it and listened to it, and seen that obviously a different name that I didn't recognise before, and I just sort of figured that was who was singing, I guess. Wow, okay, I've got even more respect for him now then. That was pretty good, yeah. So yeah, we wanted to speak to Charlie in terms of a similar sort of thing, because not a lot of people know this, and I'm sort of throwing him under the bus here. But you are wanting to go down a similar route, I guess, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to tell us too much, obviously.
No, I've started making a few beats, trying to produce the music. More of a hobby than anything. just because I enjoy listening to music. So I thought I'd give it a go.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, yeah, for sure. Like, why not? Like, if you like doing something. I mean, I just want to say something here, though. Like, you know, we're sort of playing it down a little bit. Yes, it's a hobby and you enjoy it, whatever. But I sat in the car with Charlie last time I seen him, which was probably 2-3 weeks ago. And you told me, when we went to Norway, actually, you told me that you were gonna, like, you're passionate about music. I've always known Charlie's passion for music, and he told me that it's something that he always wanted to do, and I was like, just go for it, do it, and I kept pushing you, and then you sort of like told me a couple of months ago now that you've sort of started playing around with it, and I get in the car with you when I last seen you, and you let me hear the first couple of things, and I was blown away how good it was, like, genuine, and I told you that at the time. But like, yeah, we're sort of playing it down right now. Like, yeah, he's just playing around, but it is really good. So what would your do you have a goal? Like, obviously Pete mentioned that Andrew's just sort of maybe not going to go down that route. What would you say his goal was, Pete? Has he spoke about that before?
Andrew's goal?
With music. Was he spoke about it?
I mean, he just kind of, he does it because he likes doing it. He's a creative guy, and that's why he likes helping me out with my videos too. It's kind of just his outlet, I suppose. And yeah, like, if anything comes from it, I'm sure he'll pursue it. I always told him he should have just done like music business. And just because, I mean, I'm just a big advocate of just do what you're passionate about, which that's obviously easier said than done. But I think he's just going to do it because it makes him happy. I don't think he has he's not putting any pressure on himself for that end goal. I hope something comes of it. But he's a really talented musician, like, not just making beats. Like, if he has a guitar, like, he'll get out and start singing and stuff like that. He's a really talented kid. In one of the songs they made, they sample like The Killers and stuff like that. He sampled part of the song. In the song he dropped, the single that you mentioned, he sampled something. I can't remember what it was, though. So. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of like what I wanted to... I can tell you're sort of uncomfortable talking about it, Charlie. Obviously, I know you, like, in a very personal level, and I know when you're sort of uncomfortable. And, like, I know that you're sort of uncomfortable talking about this, and that's understandable. Like Pete's mentioned there, you know, for whatever reason you might... Or, you know, some people might not feel comfortable pursuing something that's a little bit out there, and Pete mentioned there, and I second that massively. Like, when you want to, life's way too short not to like sort of chase what you're passionate about or what you enjoy doing and stuff, and you shouldn't be sort of ashamed, or not ashamed, but like, you shouldn't be hiding it from people. And I can get why you might not want to share it with people right now, because you feel like you've got a lot of stuff to learn maybe. But what's your thoughts on that? Like, have you got any reasons for that?
I don't know. It's one of those things that it's not. You don't leave school to do like music or anything like that. You go to school, leave school to be an electrician or go to uni or something. It's one of those things that it's not the right thing to do by society's rules. So as soon as someone does it, you think they're a bit of a weirdo, or if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's just true. Fuck society. But yeah, not like I don't know. What's your thoughts on that, Pete?
It's like a similar sort of thing with YouTube, though, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Like,
definitely. We talked about this kind of on the podcast when we had Edwin on, and like, that's being a magician is even more like outlandish, you could argue, than like making music and producing beats. So I think you just kind of got to at some point get over that, you know, like the perception thing's a big deal as YouTubers. Like, if I'm going down the street with my camera, like, a lot of people look at me funny. Same goes with, I imagine, like Edwin, you know, like a lot of his friends, when he was like, I'm going to be a magician, that's what I want to do, they were like, oh, well, that's kind of strange, you know? But he did it, so.
Yeah, and I get it, like, you know, it's, I don't know, I feel like when you're young, like when I was in school, for example, like, everyone was very you feel like it's such a small world at that point, and like, you feel sort of enclosed, and the people around you matter so much, and it's only as you start to get older you realise that actually the only person, and this is going to come across wrong, but the only person that really matters is you. And as long as you're doing what makes you happy, then ultimately that's all that matters. And the people, true friends and stuff, like Pete said, I think in Edwin's episode, will support you and actually, surround and help you along the way, I guess. So you've just got to be mindful of that. Like, don't try and just keep people happy that don't necessarily matter too much, like their opinions, I guess. But it's a difficult one. It is a difficult one, and I get it. Like, you mentioned about starting YouTube just a minute ago. It's something that I've always wanted to do for a long time. I don't know how long you were thinking about doing a channel or making a channel, Pete, before you started in the end. But yeah, like, I was thinking about doing it for a very long time, and then I don't know why I started it, but I just suddenly thought, fuck it, I'm going to do it. And once you take that plunge and like just do it and then release it to everybody who you think cares, only then it will make a difference. Like, only then your perception will change of actually no one really cares, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but if you just want to do it for a hobby, you just want to do it for the hobby. Like, if you just want to make beats just for fun, or sell them for a little bit on the side, like, there's nothing wrong with that,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my question to you is, though, like, would you like, obviously you do like doing it as a hobby, but would you like to do it as a career?
Oh, obviously.
Okay, well then, do it.
Yeah, but I'm happy doing my job. I love my job at the moment, so
Yeah,
I wouldn't be disappointed if I didn't do the music.
That's fair enough.
Right.
That's fair enough. I just wouldn't want you sort of missing an opportunity in life, that's all.
Yeah.
And then sort of looking back and going, what would have happened if I did roll the dice, And I think a lot of people can relate to that, is like, who might be listening or whatever. I know a lot of people who watch my vlogs, and me and Pete have spoke about this before, like, I've had, not, I wouldn't say tons of messages, but I've had a lot of messages actually saying, people saying, sorry, like they've came to me and said, like, you inspired me to start something. And yeah, like, the sort of final point I'd like to make on that subject is if you are passionate about doing it and you want to do it, then just do it, I guess.
It's all about taking that plunge, like Rich said. There's always, like, it's kind of like an ebb and flow of, you want to do it, and then you hit a roadblock where you're like, in any creative, I guess, field, you get tired of doing it, Rich. You get discouraged.
100%.
And then all over again, you take a break, and then you're like, wow, I can't wait to make more videos or vlogs or whatever, or music. So it's kind of like an ebb and flow, and just getting over multiple humps, and then just keep at it because you love doing it.
For sure. And I would say, like, that's fine too, but just don't ever not do something because outside sort of sources, like, if don't do something because you're afraid of other people thinking something of you, because, like, there's no point really.
Yeah, but it's I was more alluding to, like, like, you're not seeing enough reward.
Yeah,
like, I know you put in all, like, if you put in all this work for YouTube videos and you're getting like 5 views, then it's not, and it maybe your goal is those views, like your internal goal. So, like, it's not necessarily like, I guess I was alluding to more of like a reward type basis. And no, I mean, your reward can come from within as well. I really love this video, so I'm going to make it, and that fulfills me.
Exactly. And I get that. I just worry that maybe Charlie's holding back a little bit right now because maybe he's afraid of other people's thoughts. Maybe I don't know. Is that true? Would you say a little bit?
Probably, yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like, we've spoke about this before in person, and like I said, I don't want to delve into it too much, but yeah, I mean, it is okay because it happens to everyone. But like Pete said a second ago, as soon as you take that plunge, that just goes away. It's crazy. But let's brighten up a bit.
Who do you listen to, Charlie? Who's your favorite artist? Who inspires you?
Inspired Kanye West.
Kanye? Okay.
Yeah.
Just from a production side?
Yeah. Yeah,
Anyone else?
Yeah, I listen to Travis Scott, Kid Cudi, Dave from the UK. You probably haven't heard of him.
Mm-mm.
No, check him out. He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Like, Rich and I kind of hit on this yesterday when we FaceTimed, but There's a big difference between American like hip hop production and grime necessarily, I guess you could say. What do you? So you would say you pull more inspiration from American hip hop production?
Yeah. I like the sampling and the more of the variety that you get. Because the UK music, I know it isn't, but it sort of like falls into that heavy beat, quick flow.
Yeah, it definitely is. Who's your favorite, I guess, grime artist?
I mean, I'd say Dave, but he doesn't really fall into grime all the time. But it'd be Jamie or Skepta.
Gotcha. They're brothers, aren't they?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that until like 2 days ago.
I it took me a while to find that out.
So like, you guys like grime is something that I really enjoy. I like listening to UK rappers just because like I feel like it's a cultural thing. Like the branding of, it's just so like, I guess London, and like that's what it represents to me.
Yeah.
And so many of my friends, whenever I turn like grime on, they're so taken aback by it. They've never heard anything similar to it ever. It's so like British and different sounding in terms of the production side, and the voices too. Like I was listening to I turned on Slow Tie the other day, and my buddy was like, "This is so British." I was like, they were just taken aback by it. I was like, "Well, it's good." Like, so it's just it's fascinating the differences and like it's the same genre of music, I would say, hip hop, obviously, but the differences are so like they're there, obviously.
It's crazy actually to know. I mean, these are global superstars that you're talking about. I get that, but it's still crazy to me that you still have that in a playlist, and you listen to it over there. Like I wouldn't have thought, a kid from Georgia would be listening to that sort of thing.
I mean, a lot of my friends last summer that I lived with in DC, and they're from Boston and like Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh and stuff like that, and they all listened to it too. Like the Skepta album dropped. Skepta dropped a new album last year in May, and that's all we listened to all summer. And they got me into Wiley, and I mean, I knew who Stormzy was, but some of those guys like AJ Tracy too. He's okay. I don't really like him, but
yeah, it just blows me away though. I find that fascinating, like because we are like we're a small little island, and I get, like I said, they're big artists, but I just never thought
they were that big.
Yeah, I didn't think they were that big for you guys to be listening to them all summer long. And we perceive, like, sorry Pete if I offend you here, but we perceive Americans, I don't know, I should say this, I perceive Americans to be quite ignorant, and you've actually said this before, but like
I did say that, yeah.
Like I feel like here in the UK, I mean, it's probably partly because we are such a smaller nation, and like pretty much everything we consume is worldwide a lot of the time. Not everything, but like, if we go to the movies, for example, we'll go and see most often than not a Hollywood film. We turn on the radio more often than not, in the top 10 there's at least 6 or 7 probably artists from the States that are actually taking up those slots. And yeah, I feel like we're probably a bit more open to your side, but it sort of takes me aback when you guys are actually listening and watching our sort of things over there. I never thought you would be.
Well, I mean, there's also the guys I lived with, they were all huge like Premier League fans and stuff like that, so they knew their way around that like culture and in a way, so they were interested in a lot of different things and not just like, they were kind of not what you'd classify as the typical like backwoods redneck American. So that it like they would watch. We would sit down and watch a Premier League, or I mean whatever was on then. It wasn't, the Premier League was over, but we watched the Champions League final and all that stuff. They were huge Everton and Liverpool fans, so it was kind of interesting seeing them like clash over it, and they would argue about it for like hours.
That's mad.
Yeah,
that's mad. I mean, like. Yeah, it just sort of blows me away, like I said. But then at the same time, it blew you away last week when we were talking about American football and the fact I had like an American football jersey, as you would call it, or top as we would call it.
That's a.
And like, yeah, I mean, it's a sort of good point that you were about to say segue. And like, it's sort of a good point to take us on to the next part of our conversation, which we wanted to talk about, and the differences in not only culture but just in the things that we say. We mentioned it the other day, but before we get onto that, we're going to talk about Muppet of the Week, just to brighten everything up.
Muppet of the Week.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've put Charlie under the cosh a little bit. I can feel him sweating from here. But yeah, we're going to talk about Muppet of the Week. So Pete, you go first this time, and then Charlie can judge it.
Okay, so I sent it to you, Rich. You want to open it?
You
don't worry about sharing
when
the
you start
screen.
sending me messages.
Don't worry about
videos.
sharing the screen. I just want you to play it on your phone for you and Charlie, and then
Me and Charlie will watch it, right?
I'll put it in the edit.
Wait, we missed that. Oh my god.
He just knocks himself out with the beer.
Oh my god. Yeah, that is. To be fair, I've seen a lot of this on TikTok and stuff, and like a lot of them are impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the. You're not a TikTok fan at all, Charlie, are you? I'm going to put that off because, yeah. But basically, I know you're not a TikTok fan. But basically, there's a lot of like circulating videos right now on TikTok, trending videos, if you like, where people get creative in open alcoholic beverages, and there's a few of those circulating, isn't there, on TikTok right now, Pete? And a lot of them are actually impressive. Like, there's a couple of guys on there who have been like, wow, like the way they're opening them beers and stuff is insane.
Yeah, I saw one kid that he was like, he had two Coronas in his hand, bottles. I don't know if you saw this, and he's like, it's like hanging down by his side, and he just kicks it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot.
I don't know
of
how
those,
he did that.
Yeah, but there's one guy who's like, I don't know who you've seen do that, but there's a few of them doing it because, like I say, it's a trend. But there's one guy who's got a duck on TikTok. I should really get his name, because if there's anyone
that's
that
him.
watches,
That's the same guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's so cool, isn't he? He's like
He looks like Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, there we go.
That's what I
So
think.
so he's like a younger version of.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just like casually walking around with his duck, and he's just cracking these beers open. But yeah, people are getting really creative opening beers in quarantine, and that is something I've seen a lot of trending. And this guy, he's just, he didn't think that
Do you
one
guys
through.
shotgun? Do you have you ever you shotgun a beer?
That's where you just neck it, isn't it?
There's
Is
when
that
you,
what
like,
is that?
fizz it up and
Where you?
smack it, don't you? And
Well, yeah, you poke a hole in it.
yeah, and then you crack it
Yeah,
open.
yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
done. Seems messy. Seems
You
like a
haven't.
waste.
Well, if you don't shake it before, it's essentially not as bad. Like that beer would have exploded.
Yeah.
But that's what he was trying to do. People do
He
that.
didn't
They bash it on their head and then shotgun straight. Yeah. Is that what
But
it's
you've got
called?
to-
Neck? Is that what it's called?
Well, not really. I mean, when you neck something, you're just like drinking it, all of it. But I didn't know about the shotgun. We probably do call it shotgun. I'm just too old for it now. When you mentioned, what did you mention there? What was it? Straight arm. That's what I wanted to say. Do you guys straight arm over there?
No, see, I don't know what that means.
It's probably a UK thing, right? So we like just like take a bottle, whatever, and then we have to have a straight arm, and we like tip back, and you've got to try and drink the whole thing with a straight arm.
Like you let it
just goes
fall
all
into your
over
mouth?
face. Yeah. It doesn't end well, honestly. It goes in your eyes and stuff, and you like can't see anyone for like the rest of the night. But it's worth a try next time you guys meet up over there. But yeah, so moving on. My Muppet of the Week's probably not going to beat it, but I just want to declare Charlie's my Muppet of the Week this week. Partly because I was really partly because I was really underprepared for this podcast this week. I'm not going to lie. Me and Pete obviously chatted about it last night and planned it, but I forgot about a Muppet of the Week. I'm not going to lie. And to be fair, I've got a few culprits that would pop into my head now, but under pressure. I apologise for that, Pete. Sorry, but Charlie's Muppet of the Week, in it. The reason for that is he's bought this new MacBook. It's very shiny, but obviously we spoke about Charlie coming on the podcast at the weekend. When did you get the MacBook?
Got it last Monday.
Okay, so there's no excuse then, right? Because we spoke about coming on the podcast at the weekend, and obviously he's been on it before. He knows that we use Zoom, and he hadn't even had Zoom installed. So he's turned up, and we're like, installing Zoom and setting everything up. He's like pretty much, setting up the laptop on the spot. So he's my Muppet of the Week for that. I was getting quite frustrated. I was
Dang,
like, come on,
Charlie. Who wins?
Well, I've got to say you win, Pete. I can't. I love winning, but I can't win that.
Come on, it's only true, like, amazing people that win Muppet of the Week. I was the first ever Muppet of the Week. Does that not inspire you to be Muppet of the Week? No.
Yeah, but that lad is a proper Muppet.
Yeah, he's a proper Muppet, to be fair. That is something you'd do, though.
Yeah. Well, no, because I've said it already. I'm not going to shotgun a beer because it's a waste.
Got you.
I'd rather sit there and enjoy it.
Well, he wouldn't be enjoying it much after that, anyway.
Quick trip to A&E.
Yeah, A&E. Do you guys use that as a term, actually? And this is perfect now because we can get on to the next topic of this podcast, what we want to talk about. A and E. Do you guys use that when you're like... Yeah, I bet you don't even know what that is, do you? That's something we say all the time.
It's a TV channel. Or no. Wait, no, it's not a TV channel. Sorry. That's what...
No, so A and E is accident... What is it, actually? Accident emergency. Yeah, so it's basically when you, like, mess up over here. You don't go straight to hospital over here. You sort of just, like... Yeah, you get rushed to A&E. You just rock up on your own. And, you just get seen to pretty much there. And they declare you if you're going to hospital or whatever.
That's kind of nice. I wish we had that here.
Yeah, but
here you got...
Go on. No, go on.
Well, here you get that ambulance trip straight to the hospital. It's $10,000 straight off.
I was about to say that you guys have to spend a lot on $10,000.
Yeah, usually it's in that ballpark.
Just to get
is that covered on your insurance?
I don't know how it works, honestly. I'm on my mom's insurance still, so.
Okay.
That's a strange thing.
Blows me away. Yeah, that blows me away, Pete. Honestly, like 10. I knew you guys had to pay for stuff like that, but I didn't know it was that much. Like, to be fair, touch wood, I've never been in an ambulance in my life for myself. I don't think. Have I? Maybe when I was in school. I got my head stuck between the gates. I was messing around.
Though, right?
Nah,
it's not. You got a big head. You got a big ego.
There he is. But yeah, we had like these bars at school. I think I was only like 10, and our ball went over the other side. Our soccer ball, as Pete would call it, and it was on the road. And I was like reaching for it, and I figured like if I get my head through the bar, I'll be able to have extra reach. Got my head through the bar, and I couldn't get it back out. They had to come and like cut the bars open. But I don't think I was in an ambulance for that. Have you been in an ambulance? Never.
No, touch wood. I've never broken a bone. Really? Yeah.
That's decent, actually.
Dang.
Sorry if there's any background noise on this podcast, guys, because me and Charlie are sitting both in my room where I usually record the podcast. Usually we do it a bit later, but it's the hottest day of the year so far in the UK today. It's like 32 degrees, yeah. And we are both, like, we've got the fan on, we've got the two windows open, and we're very hot. So if you just heard those motorbikes going by, we apologise. But yeah, so going back to it, like $10,000, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is covered by insurance, but if you do not have it, if you don't have insurance, which a lot of people don't, then that's $10,000.
Is insurance expensive? Like health insurance?
Yeah, it's decently expensive. I couldn't tell you. I'm on my mom still. I can be until I'm 26, and then I have to get off. But I'm sure I'll have to pay it. She'll make me pay part of it. So
question for you, like if you're just a dick, right? Like, which we all know one or two dicks, right? Who just always get injured. They're always a guy who turns up after school, after the school holidays, he's got a cast in his arm, and then the next month he's done something else, and he's got a cut in his head. So if you're that guy, right, does your insurance go up, or does it just stay level? Would you know? Like a car?
I think it depends on the injury. I know, like, obviously car insurance does.
Yeah. Like if you keep crashing your car, you're going to end up paying more for insurance, right?
Yeah. And like I pay more than someone who's 35 years old would.
Yeah, we're the same over here.
I don't think health insurance is that much right now for me because I'm young, so I in principle don't have very much. Like I shouldn't have very many health problems. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah. I mean, hopefully. But anyway, yeah. So like talking about the differences and stuff. I know there's a few things, Pete, that you wanted to bring up. Maybe for me and Charlie. I mean, I'm putting you on the spot here. I really hope that you have prepared something. Because otherwise, it's going to be quite a short
I had
episode.
I had the article up, and then I clicked off. It was American slang versus British slang, and I can think of things that Rich says to me over text that I like yesterday. Rich always texts Y-E-H, and I always say Y-E-A-H. Is that like a Scottish thing, or does like Charlie? Do you do that too?
No, I always, because is always in my top bar. So if I ever text back I just press that and send.
So
But
how do you spell it?
Y-E-A-H.
What? What? Y-E-A-H.
Yeah.
So Y-E-A-H.
I spell it properly. Yeah.
Oh, so that's just me then, is it? I just say
Yeah.
Y-E-H. Maybe that is it. I don't know. Maybe that's my own slang I've just made up.
Okay, I got one.
Go on.
What do you call, like, do you call them condoms? Are they condoms over there?
Condoms. we call them condoms.
Okay, yeah. Same thing.
But
then.
Charlie never uses them.
Jeez, chill, bro.
No, or Johnny's. We have slang for condoms. Johnny's.
Oh, we got like rubbers too.
Rubbers. Yeah, we
All right,
don't
I'm
use
looking
that
at some
term.
things right here. Zucchini.
What's that?
Zucchini.
Zucchini. Never
Never
heard
heard of that. All right.
Yeah, it's a mint dip, isn't it? Like a mint yogurt
courgette.
dip.
A courgette.
Courgette. I see. I don't know that. I don't know that.
Do you know what that is?
Awesome. It's a squash.
Courgette.
Huh?
It's a squash.
A squash?
Nah, it's like a cucumber.
Yeah. Which is
What do you mean a
isn't
squash? What's a
No,
squash?
the squash is a different.
See, this is-
different fruit.
it? We're gonna lose people here.
Yeah, they're gone. They're gone. They're
okay,
like,
so
what
a
are these on about?
A zucchini is. I don't know how to explain it now because it is what we would call a squash. A squash is yellow, right? To you?
Yeah.
Like.
Is it? I've never
Right.
heard of this squash thing in my life. Squash is a game similar to tennis.
No. Well, yes, it is, but no, it's a fruit or
Like the
vegetable. I don't know what
fruit.
it is actually. Yeah.
Or vegetable.
No, it's a fruit. Yeah.
What, like orange squash? I'm so confused, honestly.
No, it's like a squash and parsnip soup.
I've honestly never heard of it. Is that bad?
All right.
It's like an
Let's go through
orange thing.
Pumpkin.
Not quite.
All right, we'll
Let's
move
go
on
through.
from.
Let's go through some other funny ones. I'm looking. This one, I don't know how like accurate this is. This one says Americans call like a pharmacy. You know what a pharmacy is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they say the British
It's where
call
you-
it a
it's where you go-
chemist.
It's where you go to get your condoms.
Chemist. Is that, have you ever heard it called a chemist over there?
Call it a chemist.
Yeah, we call it a chemist. Have you
Okay.
never heard of that?
No.
It's actually mad, isn't it? Like, because we speak English, which is a language. I'm not saying, but what I mean here is like we speak the same language, yet we have words that we've never. Like that is just normal, completely normal.
Imagine being American, you get given a country, you get given a language,
Oh,
and
here
still
we
you
go.
somehow mess it up.
Yeah. Well, and a lot when I went to Europe, I didn't know that it was called a queue at all.
Okay.
We call
Okay.
them lines.
Lines.
I'm gonna say everything with just like such a plain voice.
A broad accent. Yeah, a queue. So like, again, that's quite a sort of normal. We would never say standing in a line, but again, we would know what that means. Like if I came to America, and,
yeah, like I knew what it meant. Obviously, yeah.
Oh, you knew what it. Okay.
Well, like when I saw
You
it
figured
the
it
first
out.
time, I was like, okay, like I know it's called a queue. Like,
Got you.
Um,
Okay.
let's see.
I mean, we've got a lot of slangs, or like from me being Scottish, that I would say that Charlie would never have heard of either.
First year or so, we had a real tricky time talking.
Yeah, we were. We really struggled to communicate at all. But like that I don't know. And that is even more blows my mind because Scotland and England are right beside each other.
yeah.
Is it the same as you in Canada?
No. Canada has some differences. Like they say a lot, and like their O's are pronounced differently. It's like a longer, or it's like a shorter I can't really say. It's like instead of no, they say no. Like it's it's like a no. I can't even. Like, there's other things too. Like they talk, the way they enunciate. They use a lot more slang, like buddy and rubber, like weird slangs. Like
see,
go ahead.
I don't know about you, Charlie, but I wouldn't know the difference between a Canadian and American if you heard them talking. Would you?
I think
if you didn't
would.
know.
It's a difference between American and French Canadian.
Yeah.
I have a very plain American voice, I would say, but Canadians like hockey, they pronounce hockey, like it's like that, hockey.
Okay.
But I say hockey.
I don't know if I've ever met a Canadian though, so I don't know.
Yeah, but there's a lot of Canadians who we hear talk, like famous ones, like that we would know are Canadian, but you wouldn't be able to tell the difference in what their accent compared to an American.
I don't know any Canadians apart from Drake.
Well, Drake, like he sounds American. Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
He's Canadian, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Like there's a lot, and you would just think they're from America. Is that just me though? Is that just us being ignorant? I guess maybe you guys. But then, would you know the difference between like an English accent and a Scottish accent or a Welsh accent over there? Would you know that difference or not really?
I could tell you were Scottish, Rich, because the only reason is because I watch the English Premier League, and like I heard like Rooney and those guys talk.
Yeah.
And I had a buddy.
Hell, Rooney can barely speak, but yeah, go on.
Yeah. And I had a buddy who was my roommate's brother's friend, and we hung out quite a bit. He was Scottish. He played golf over here at a school, and he talked a lot like how you talk. So I was like, this kid sounds like
he's a good lad,
buddy. Then. Yeah, I guess so. He's crazy, but yeah, he drinks a lot.
Yeah, most Scottish do. To be fair, I've had my time doing that. I'm off it now.
I mean, that video you put in your vlog, it looks like you were getting after it when you met
which
Shar.
one?
When
I met Shar, yeah, I was. Yeah, that's what happened. Actually, I was
Bro,
that drunk.
That floss, oh my god,
so good, right?
No,
I think I actually told her that night that I invented the floss because it was that week it went viral, and I said, yeah, I'm the guy that invented it. She believed it. I know she'll be watching this now. She'll probably be looking at me as she's watching it, thinking how much of an idiot I am. But yeah, moving on.
I'm gonna let's see what we got. Takeaway and takeout.
Yeah, we call it
takeaway.
Okay, rubber versus eraser.
Yeah, rubber.
You call it rubber?
Yeah.
See, a rubber over here is a condom.
Stop saying that.
I'm not even lying. Condom.
Imagine being a British teacher going to a first school. I'll get you. Get your rubbers out.
Yeah. Get your rubbers out. All the lads like, wait. Yeah. It's there's so many things. Do you know the one that gets me though when we're talking about like stuff on YouTube and stuff, and we say niche over here, which is a French word by the way, so I'm pretty sure it's pronounced niche. Like quiche, it's spelt the same, sounds the same. Well, it's spelt similar, but you say niche.
Yeah.
So would you say
we have a dining hall here at my school, like a cafeteria that is called the niche.
No way. See that makes me nearly laugh every time. But it's so normal for you guys. Like you just call it a niche. Yeah. But would you call quiche, the food, like eggs?
Yeah, quiche.
Oh, you call it quiche. Okay.
Okay. Car parts. So boot and trunk.
Yeah, boot all day.
Really?
So, yeah, you call it trunk. But we would. So if I said to you, Pete, right, say if you came over here to the UK or I came over to the States and we had a car and I said, "Oh, just throw that in the boot," would you know what I was talking about?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, I would also be like, I would brush it off, be like, all right, whatever. Like, if this is something.
Yeah.
Indicator versus blinker.
Do you call it blinker?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't know that. I was
blinks.
about to. Yeah, I
suppose.
I mean, it also indicates, but I was about to say like, there's a lot of things that you say that I'd be familiar with just because of watching films or movies in your case, and that's another one. Films, like we call them films. You don't call them films, do you?
I mean, people pretty much use both, but mostly it's movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like we would know a lot of your like terminology from that, I think. Whereas probably, I don't know, like I feel like a lot of our words that we would use are probably a little bit more of a surprise to you, I guess. Go on, list off a few more. This is fun.
It is fun, yeah.
If you're still here watching this, by the way, you're clearly having as much fun as us, because this is insanely fun.
I mean, there's obvious ones too, like flat and apartment. I didn't know this one. Lorry and truck.
Yeah. I mean, we call them both, kind of, but lorry,
Well, no, a truck is like got the flat bed at the back, hasn't it?
Oh, here we go. We've got an expert. So explain what a truck is then. he's looking it up.
Are you talking about like a pickup truck? Do you know what that is? Do you guys,
like a pickup truck we call a truck.
Do you guys do a lot of people drive pickup trucks? No, right? They do?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, ours just aren't as big as yours.
Yeah, yours are massive.
Right.
What's the story with that?
Everything's the minimum is like a 2-litre engine.
Yeah.
I feel like America do everything just bigger than everywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, you got a little bit more space, I suppose.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The traffic lanes are much wider. That was the one thing that I noticed when I was in England too.
Oh, really? Our roads are bigger?
No, ours.
Oh, I was going to say yours.
Yours are smaller. Yeah. So parking, like my roommate drives a truck, like a big truck. I don't think he could park it in pretty much all the parking spots there. So,
that's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, but everything's bigger. I remember when I went to America, went to a cafe in the morning for breakfast, ordered pancakes. It said like 3 pancakes on the menu, so we ordered 3. And I was expecting, like in England, we get like a pancake that big. I kid you not, it was the size of there were 3 of them the size of a plate, all an inch thick.
No way.
It was a joke.
Did you go to IHOP or something?
I can't remember where it was.
You went to Nitch, didn't you?
No, I watched the whole Johnny Harris video. I don't know if you've ever watched him, either of you, Johnny Harris.
Johnny Harris.
But he makes all these like fascinating, like super cinematic, like it's like Vox. Have you watched Vox before?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, so he makes all these super like cinematic things with maps, like videos, and he explained pretty much why Americans have like dessert for breakfast, which is pretty true. Like we eat sugared donuts and cereal, and a bunch of processed, basically what you call desserts. Because like in Belgium, where the waffle comes from, it's pretty much dessert. Yeah. So
okay, I mean, yeah, but the thing is though, like we've started doing that now, and I feel like as time has gone on, obviously I can't. No, we have though. Like you go to like do you get Weatherspoons over there in the States?
No, I don't know what that is.
No, so like it's like a cheap pub basically. It's like a chain of pubs or bars, as you would call them. Do you have pub? Do you even call them pubs? You don't, do you?
I mean bars, pubs. I mean, yeah, they're both.
Yeah, so we have like a chain of these called Weatherspoons, which is like you can get a pint. Like it's the cheapest in the UK, isn't it? It's like roughly it's like $3.50 a pint, whereas you can go into most places and it's like £5, and or other places and it's like £5. And yeah, Weatherspoons for breakfast. In a lot of places like McDonald's, there's so many places you can get like pancakes and syrup now, whereas before I probably would. I mean, I'm no expert again, but if you rewind 30 years, 20 years in the UK, you would not have been getting that stuff for breakfast. So I think we're adapting. We're taking on your.
Weatherspoons is a pub. That's a chain.
Yeah.
So, but it's also a restaurant.
Yeah. So you can go in and you can go in and eat. So you can go in for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and it's so cheap. Like honestly, if you come to the UK on a budget, just go into Weatherspoons and just get, like, even in London, like London prices are like you can sometimes be charged. Just to give your viewers, it's probably similar to New York. I went to London once and bought 2 shots, and it was £30 for 2 shots of tequila.
30.
Yep. So that equates to like 30, probably about $42, $43, I'd say, maybe even more. And that was just for 2 shots of tequila. And
yeah, but you went to a nice bar, didn't you?
Yeah, but like, come on.
Yeah, no,
who gets away with charging that? And basically and if you go to a Weatherspoons in London, I don't know how many of them are in central London, but I'm probably, you probably get 1 or 2, and yeah, you'd probably be paying £3 a shot, I'd say, in Weatherspoons.
Not even. I can probably tell you.
Charlie's got the app in his phone.
The best bit is on the app, you can order things to different tables. So on social media in the UK, if you're feeling rave, you put on like Instagram story, your table number and where you are, and people can buy whatever.
And send it to your table, which is quite cool. Yeah, so like people are just sat at home, might not have gone out or, you know, whatever, and they'll just send stuff to your table. They'll buy it and then just send it to your table. How much is a shot?
I've forgotten where the app was. I just found it.
You've forgotten where the app was? I suppose we've been in lockdown, haven't we?
It's been so long.
That's wild.
So long. But yeah, there's just so many things. It's different, I guess. I need to get over to the States, though. I really do. I say it so much.
Yeah,
like,
you do.
Since, like, obviously speaking with you more, Pete, it's made me want to come over there more. Just to get a taste for it, I guess.
Yeah, I think you gotta go to New York, though.
For sure.
You have to go to New York City. That is like, even if you're from America, like when you go there, you're like, holy cow, like this is unbelievable. It's just like as if you went to, I mean, what's a comparable city? Like if you went to
London.
Hong Kong or something,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
I mean, just the scale of the buildings in New York,
Yeah.
like you feel like you're in a tunnel. So, and Charlie, you went to New York, right?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was real nice.
It's crazy though.
Yeah.
The pace of life.
Oh yeah, it just never stops.
Yeah. Like I went there like a year ago with my girlfriend, and it was 3 a.m. and you're hearing like massive trucks go down, and like 5 of them go down the street. I'm like, what in the world? It's 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So sorry, Rich. What were you about to say?
The city that never sleeps.
How different is it to London? I know it's a lot bigger and like.
I don't. It's fairly similar, but it's not.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Though. I do get what you mean. Like the vibe is similar, but it looks different, maybe.
Yeah, it's bigger. Yeah. Like the streets are wider, the shops are bigger.
Yeah, but you always get that city smell, don't you? Though I know that sounds weird, but we said this when we went to Oslo that time. In Oslo, by the way, Pete, if you ever go to Europe again, such a cool place to go. But like
you can't go there on a budget.
No, you can't go there on a budget. It's so expensive. Yeah. I think it's like the most expensive place in Europe to go. Genuine.
Switzerland's.
I think I think Dublin is.
Really?
Yeah.
Dublin's expensive though. But yeah, either way, we went to Oslo and we said this, like it doesn't smell like a city. You know what I mean, Pete, right? You go into a city
like
and
piss.
Yeah, it smells just like awful. It smells like fumes and horrible like pollution. Oslo doesn't. It's really weird.
But I don't think I saw any cars in the city centre.
Yeah, not one. Which is cool. But then you can say the same about. Go on.
When I was in Switzerland, I felt like if I dropped like a trash on the ground on accident, like a little like elf would come out and scold me and like pinch me or something. You know? That's how clean it felt. I imagine it felt the same way in Oslo.
Similar, yeah. To be fair, yeah, similar. But yeah, it doesn't feel like that in the UK, and probably not in the States. Like I feel like we've got quite. I don't know. Like London's dirty to me, isn't it? It's filthy. Like you go to London and it's full of shit. Really, it's a nice city to go and visit, but it is full of shit. You're
really selling it to the people.
Yeah, I'm selling it.
Yeah, come and visit England.
Come and visit England. No, you want to go to Scotland, like take yourself to a proper city. Go to Glasgow or Edinburgh. Really nice places to go and visit if you come to the UK.
Here's a good one.
Go on.
I got a good one for you. Zebra crossing versus crosswalk.
Well, zebra crossing is what we call it.
Oh, really? It's zebra?
Yeah, zebra, yeah. Zebra.
That's how you say the animal as well?
Yeah.
But you say Z instead of Z, don't you?
Yeah, zebra.
Yeah, we say.
So even in the alphabet, you say Z. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, here this is in.
That's why it's JZ.
Sorry.
Not JZ. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it.
That'd be wild calling him JZ. But right here it says American versus British English, Z versus Z. Strange.
Is there any more?
Oh, there's plenty.
Go on, list a few more off, and then we'll.
Let me find a funny one. Anti-clockwise? I didn't know it was anti-clockwise.
Yeah.
We do counter.
Counterclockwise, yeah.
And then tic-tac-toe, or noughts and crosses versus tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, noughts and crosses. There's so many, isn't there? Like you wouldn't even think of.
Yeah. Well,
I love how
there's
Pete's
obviously
prepared so well for this. I feel bad.
torch versus flashlight.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
There's not
Okay.
ice lolly versus popsicle.
Yeah. That's one actually. We never called them popsicles, do we? Like
No.
if you said popsicle to me, I'd be like, "What's happened?"
Become American all of a sudden. Yeah, that's not a word I've used.
Yeah, never. Like, you know, some of them that you've listed, I'm like, actually, sometimes we might, but yeah, that one never.
Yeah. Nappy versus diaper.
Yeah, nappy all day. But again,
Really?
no, we would know what a diaper is. But yeah, never call it.
We've grown up watching American cartoons as well, so we know what most of your slang is anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
What cartoons did you watch?
Simpsons, big one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Family Guy a little bit.
Family Guy is so good. I don't
I
care
never
who
get-
you are in the world. It's so
Yeah.
good.
I like it. Don't get me wrong, but I just never found myself at that point in my life like what do you know what I mean? Like watching it for a sustained period of time. Like if it's on at night and I'm going to bed, I'll put it on. But like I've never, like with The Simpsons for example, I knew every time it was on. Every day I was like, I came home from school, I was like, right, I'm watching The Simpsons. I knew exactly what date, like what you know. But Family Guy was never like that. I don't know. Do you watch Family Guy a lot?
Watched it a bit, not really.
Yeah. I don't think it's really. I mean, I can think of a few people that watch it over here, Pete, but it's not really had the same effect as like Simpsons or like, you know, there's a lot of other ones that have sort of like really, like Rugrats. That was big when I was growing up. Scooby Doo, that's American, right? That was
Yeah.
massive as well. There's so many. Johnny Bravo.
Phineas
That
and
one was
Ferb.
big here.
Yeah.
SpongeBob big over there?
SpongeBob, yeah. Yeah.
SpongeBob's great.
Yeah, SpongeBob was class. Do you know
See,
what I've
like,
never
I
get
need-
into? Go on.
What? Well, The Simpsons I know is huge. I always see Arsenal Twitter talking about The Simpsons.
Yeah.
And like
Rick and,
we don't watch The Simpsons ever over here anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Rick
Yeah.
and Morty.
Yeah, that's big.
That's big, yeah.
That's a very
again,
big, yeah.
it's really big over here, but I've never watched it. Have you? I must watch it. I think I've heard it's came
It's
to
kind of
Netflix
strange.
now in
It's
quarantine.
kind of strange. Like it's got that weird vibe to it. Kind of
Yeah.
like
kind of like Charlie.
stonery.
Oh, okay, I get you.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's so big then.
I got one.
Go on.
The Plow. This is the Plow. The Big Dipper. Do you know what the Big Dipper is?
Roller coaster?
Nah, it's the
Oh.
constellation.
It's a
Stars.
what?
Is that actually called?
It's a what?
The Big Dipper. You know when stars line up to make a shape or something.
Yeah.
There's one
like a
called the
spoon.
plow.
Yeah, I got you.
And they call it the Big Dipper.
Is that what? Is that? Do you guys use that at all? The Plow.
No, I've never. Yeah, we call it the plow. Yeah, I've never heard it called the Big Dipper.
Oh, okay.
Is that the one that looks like a saucepan almost?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a star there and then 4 stars there,
Yeah, I'm sort of lost.
and they call it a Big Dipper.
I'm
Big
looking,
Dipper over here. I think we've got a lot of roller coasters called the Big Dipper.
Okay, this one. I don't know. I don't want to pronounce this because I'm gonna pronounce it wrong, and you guys are gonna make fun of me.
We'd never do that, Pete. We'd never do that.
It's a vegetable. An eggplant is what we call it.
Aubergine.
Aubergine. There you go. Yeah.
What were you going to call it?
Aubergine.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it's not that bad. It's not that
Yeah.
bad. You can get away with that. That's became quite famous, isn't it now? Since the emoji era of the human
Yeah.
race. But yeah, go on, give us a couple more.
Okay, well, I've never heard anyone who's English ever say this, but peckish,
Yeah, feeling peckish.
hungry.
Yeah, that's normal. That's
Okay.
normal. I'm a bit peckish. My mum uses that a lot actually. Every night she said, "Oh, I'm a bit peckish."
Baked potato, jacket potato versus baked potato.
Yeah, we say both.
Yeah, we say both. Yeah. To be fair, what do you use over there?
Baked potato.
Baked potato. Baked potato.
This is interesting.
This is interesting.
Do you-
It's fascinating.
It's yeah. Wait, what? What the heck? So okay. ground floor, first floor. The first floor of a building, you call it the ground floor?
Yeah.
Well, the one on the ground is the ground floor.
Yeah, but the floor above that is the first floor for you?
Yeah, yeah.
See, we call that, we do first floor, second floor. Wait. Yeah, we do first floor as the ground floor. And the second floor is the floor above that.
Yeah, fucking hell. That baffled me. I'd just be lost. I'd be just going up and down all the time, looking for the ground floor.
In certain elevators, like most elevators, I'd say like it's like, and if you go to a big hotel in New York, it says G for ground floor.
Yeah, okay.
So
New York's more advanced, would you say?
No, because the floor above that is usually 1. So.
Yeah, to be fair, I think we are 1 after ground. I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's ground floor, first floor.
Yeah. Ah, is it? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. So we've got first floor after that.
These are this is fascinating.
But
High Street versus Main Street. Sorry, Charlie, go ahead.
Just quickly on the hotel thing, Trump's Towers in New York is like got one of the highest number of floors.
I imagine so. Yeah, it's probably up there. There's Trump Towers in every city.
Yeah.
So if you go to Vegas, the one there is probably the tallest building in Las Vegas.
Yeah, but it's missing 20 floors, 20 numbered floors.
What? Just because
it goes from like 29 to 41.
Just because he wanted it to be that taller.
Because he wanted it to like have 80 floors. Or something.
What a guy, though, eh? What a guy.
He's a
lot
top
of the
boy,
buildings
isn't he?
skip the 13th too. Some buildings skip the 13th floor.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's strange. Well, it's not strange. I can see why, obviously.
Why? Because it's just a number.
Well, yeah, but like, I don't know. If you get assigned your office, and your office number 13 on the 13th floor.
13's a lucky number for me.
Oh, you're one of them. He's one of them, Pete. He's one of them. Do you know what's good though? Like, I always think you guys start trends, like, and I love it. Like Twitter. Twitter's something I came back to a couple of months back. I deleted it for a long time just because I was never using it. But Twitter, we get really connected with all your trends. Like, you guys come up with some amazing sort of like, like Karen, the most recent one, like Colin, like people that complain a Karen, like that to me is so good. Like we refer now to I use it a lot. Do you use that a lot? Have you heard about that? Okay, so like they effectively call, like, if you ever hear like of a woman complaining about something, the one, like you've got everyone in a village, you've got one in, if you went to a shop, there's always someone they call that woman Karen. So it's just
I'm
like
gonna call
your
your manager. Like, I'm gonna who's the manager here?
Yeah.
There's also like Boomer. I'm pretty sure
Hey,
that was
Boomer,
probably started. Like
it
okay,
has. It came over. I didn't know what it was, but this is the thing. Like, we hear a lot of them things on social media and stuff. Me anyway, and I'm like, what does that even mean? For like a good month until I have to go and look it up, because it just circulates, obviously. But yeah, Boomer's something that I'd never heard of or even known about, and you probably don't even know what it means, do you? So it's like an older person, isn't it?
Yeah, like a baby boomer. That's what it comes from. A baby boomer is someone who was born after World War II. So like from 1945 to 1955, the baby boom.
Because there was a baby boom, yeah.
So now they're old, so people refer to boomers as like old people. So, okay, boomer, like...
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah. I just knew it was older people. But yeah, like, there's so many things, and this is hopefully, like, in this podcast, if you've made it this far, hopefully we've educated you, I guess, because if you're a UK viewer, I know me listening, I've found this fascinating, so hopefully you found it interesting. Same if you're someone from the United States. Hopefully, you won't be an ignorant person if you're watching Pete's channel. I'm sure you're very clued up in what's going on in the world and stuff. But yeah, hopefully you were interested in it. I've got a couple of questions for Charlie before we leave. Music, talk to us. What's next?
Release an album.
Go number one.
Yeah, simple as that.
Boom. Yeah?
Yeah.
Pete, you got anything for Charlie? He's a man of few words about his music. I'm struggling to get anything out of him.
6ix9ine's gonna come after you when you steal his number one Billboard spot. Charlie's gonna be he's gonna make music just like 6ix9ine, just shouting into the mic.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. I can see 6ix9ine's hair on Charlie's head right now.
There you go.
Yeah, the flowing, colourful
Locks.
locks. Yeah.
All right, I think we'll end it. You happy, Pete?
Yep.
Anything
Good talk.
else
It
to
was
say?
Funny.
Yeah, it was good.
Mm-mm.
It was good. Charlie, did you enjoy it?
I did. Yeah.
Good to have you on.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was amazing.
Thanks for
And I'm
coming
sure
on,
our-
Charlie.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And if you've made it this far, again, thank you. We appreciate you. We are, like we said earlier, episode 8 now. Just for the heads up, me and Pete have spoke about it last night. We're going to get to episode 10, and then we're finishing this podcast for good. I'm joking. We're just going to like regroup, I guess, and just like talk about what we want to do going forward. Obviously, we're going to keep going with the podcast, but we're probably going to be taking a couple of weeks off, just to regroup. Get some a variety of different guests on, potentially like guests of a certain niche, as Pete would call it, for like a series type thing going forward. So yeah, that's what we'll do. Just come to expect that. We'll update you. We'll keep you updated as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And that's it. Pete.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for coming on, Charlie, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks,
for having me. See ya.
Goes, oh my god, he just fell off the chair. You've got to put that in, Pete. That was quality. Brilliant.